See you. How are you?
Good. Are you sure it's okay for me to just show up?
Absolutely. I told you you can come by anytime you want.
Thanks. How's Spencer? I was wondering if maybe we could go for a ride.
Yeah, of course. He can show you what he can do with Nippet. Spencer's very proud of himself.
I love that pony. I love everything a lot more than I used to. Like, this morning I sat out on the deck with my orange juice, and my biggest problem was what to have for breakfast. And then I started thinking about Michael and what he was doing and having for breakfast. It's so unfair for him to be locked up in that awful place.
I know. Well, I'm sorry I can't help you with Michael right now, but I have made some progress with the Bowers. Warren hasn't dropped the wrongful death suit yet, but I imagine he will soon.
Why?
I made him aware of various options. We'll just leave it at that.
That sounds like a threat.
I told you, Kristina, I won't allow anyone to drag you through that Kiefer nightmare anymore.
Kiefer was a nightmare mostly, but I miss him sometimes. That probably sounds ridiculous.
No. I think we all feel things we shouldn't sometimes. Just ask me and Elizabeth.
How's she doing?
She works too much, and I'm worried about her. I invited her and the boys to come live here at least until the baby's born, but she won't even consider it.
Attention General Hospital shoppers. There will be a sale of designer jewelry in room 314. Don't miss out. These are one-of-a-kind pieces, and they're bound to be collector's items since the designer is on her way to that big swap meet in the sky. So,
Nurse Weber, will you please take this patient back to her room?
Certainly.
well, this, until very recently, would be where I apologize, where I swear it will never happen again. But I'm not sorry. Not one little bit. And if I see an opportunity to sell my jewelry or to do the Roomba, I'll do it.
You'll do it at your own risk.
Trust me on this, you do not want to be on Epiphany's bad side.
Fair enough. But I've let too many opportunities slip by, and I will never again just sit around and let my life happen.
You always manage... What do you want? I'm working.
Why on earth won't you allow Elizabeth to move to Windermere?
Promise me you will stay in bed and that you'll stay away from Epiphany and at least don't touch the PA system.
I'm not making any promises.
Well, then will you at least stay in bed until after my ultrasound?
Is that today?
Yeah, I kind of forgot about the last one. And if I'm late for this one, Nikolas will lock me up in the Tower of Windermere and I'll never be heard from again.
That sounds so romantic.
Oh, yeah, not really. It's more about control. He's been determined to run my life ever since he found out this baby was his. He wants me to quit my job, pack up my kids, and move out to Windermere.
That castle in the harbor?
Yeah.
Have you ever been inside?
Of course.
Is it gorgeous?
If you like horror movies.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
No, you're not missing much.
I'm afraid you are. If your baby's father is ridiculously wealthy and wants you and your children to live with him in a castle and have legions of servants waiting on you, don't you think you ought to at least give it a little thought?
I can't live with Nikolas. I don't even want to look at him right now. And his insane grandmother is out there. My kids would be miserable.
In a castle? Are you sure about that?
It's just not a healthy situation, that's all.
I'm with you there. But you seem to be working overtime to make this whole thing Nikolas's fault.
Well, if it weren't for Nikolas, I'd still be with Lucky.
But you're not. And from what you've told me, Lucky is not coming back. Maybe it's time to move on, Elizabeth. Take the opportunity. Try something new. Don't waste time punishing yourself for sleeping with Nikolas. Be grateful that you're having a healthy baby.
Now, Elizabeth is too fragile emotionally and physically. She works long hours. She barely sees the 2 children she already has. And she has certainly not shown any regard for my great-grandchild. And I believe you are the reason.
I never said I wouldn't allow Elizabeth to move into Windermere. In fact, I said just the opposite.
I never that you would take out your hatred of Nikolas on his unborn child.
Are you even listening to me? I'm not taking anything out on anyone, okay? I don't get to decide where Elizabeth lives. My responsibilities are to Cameron and Jake, and that's it.
No wonder Nikolas blames you for Elizabeth's irresponsible behavior. You can't stand the fact that that baby is not yours, and if she has a miscarriage, young man, it's your fault.
On time for a sonogram? Good, good. Can you email me some pictures? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Goodbye.
Had a visit from Helena today. She seems to think I'm the one stopping Elizabeth from moving out here.
Aren't you? In that passive-aggressive sort of way you're so good at?
What the hell happened to you, Nikolas? I mean, we had our differences at first, but you were never deliberately cruel.
I don't think it's cruel to want my child's mother to live with me.
Now, you know exactly what this would do to me. To have my sons living here. And why would Elizabeth want to live here anyway, huh? I mean, this place is nothing but bad memories. Emily died out here. You know? Our friendship fell apart out here. And besides that, it's inconvenient for work. She's pregnant. She doesn't need to be going back and forth.
She doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to push herself to the point of exhaustion and jeopardize my child. But that's exactly what she's doing, because she's convinced herself that if she can drive me away, you'll go back to her.
Something happened to you after Emily died. I don't know what it is. But
Lucky,
it's like
come on,
you've lost who you really are or something.
Don't bring Emily into this. Elizabeth and I had an affair. We did what millions of people do every day. We slept with someone we weren't supposed to and lied about it. It happened. Just like your affair with Maxie. It happened. But you know what? I am really tired of apologizing for it.
All right, because Cassadines don't apologize. Isn't that right? I mean, being a prince literally means never having to say you're sorry.
I've been apologizing to you for years. Begging you for your acceptance. My God, I named my firstborn child after you. Forget it. The hell with you. No, I'm not apologizing for who I am anymore.
Turn this into some Spencer Cassadine feud, okay?
The bottom line is, I have a child on the way, okay? And I will provide for it. You can be as mad at me as you want, but stay the hell out of my way or deal with the consequences.